Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back. Don't worry, I'm not going to be doing a crossword puzzle in real time for you, but I thought I would give you a little behind-the-scenes peek at how I film my videos for two reasons. One, I had somebody email me, James, and he said he's an engineer and he's dying to figure out how I do an overhead shot without constantly bumping my head into the camera. And it's a question I've been asked a couple of times. And two, the video channel Mad Lad Designs, he did a little behind the scenes walkthrough of where he films in his board game collection. And I love watching those. I love seeing the tabletops and the mystery hands, but I also like to get a peek behind the curtain to see what's really going on behind there. So I thought I would set up and just kind of maybe, I don't know, break the fourth wall here and show you the other side of the video camera, how I do my overhead shots and maybe a little peek into my game collection as well. Because when I was setting this up, I didn't realize it, but subconsciously I've sort of divided my game and my videoing into two distinct realms. The first you probably recognize. This is my old kitchen table. This is where I sort of started doing my videos. And this is the setup I use here, my original setup, using just a tripod. I'll show you that in a second. It has a couple drawbacks. Main number one being it is the kitchen table, so I have between breakfast and lunch to film all of my videos, at which point I have to break them down. And just between you and me, I'm too lazy to reset them up. So if I can't fit it all in one filming session, it isn't able to happen here. Second problem is size, and you'll see that in a second too. The way my tripod's set eats up a lot of my gaming space. So if it's a big game, it also can't live here. So I've sort of divided my game into two different groups. Kitchen table games, these are sort of the family-friendly, quick little games I play, and the big mamas, and those live upstairs, and we'll go there next. But for now, let me show you what this looks like on the other side. So here's the way I set it up, using the tripod. What I do is I put the tripod above what I'm filming, set the two front legs, and then I kick out that third leg. I extend it, which will tilt my whole tripod forward. Counterbalance that, I just stuck a good old exercise weight back here, but anything heavy hanging off that end leg is going to equalize this thing. So when you stick the camera on the top, the whole thing doesn't collapse right into you. Then you can tilt your camera down, and you're not going to get the legs in your shot. And it also swings it over, so it's right above whatever it is you're filming. You can see the first drawback though. This takes up a lot of your table, which means it only works for the smaller game layouts. And because it's balanced, it makes it really hard to move the tripod around. And if you ever bump the table, your whole camera shakes. So there are some drawbacks, but it definitely works. Now, the other thing is, you're filming upside down. So in your editing software, you actually have to go in once you've uploaded it and flip your image 180 degrees, because what I'm actually filming is this. And believe it or not, the first couple of times I set up the camera this way, in order to counteract the fact that I was upside down, I would spin my game around and try to play it this way, which meant when you have any card text to read, you're trying to read upside down. It was horrible, headache-inducing, and I do not recommend it at all. Instead, whatever editing program you're using, hop in it, figure out how to rotate your image, and then flip it 180, and bam, no one will ever know. But like I said, this works really well if you have a small space, because if I zoom out enough, let me see if I can make this happen, you will eventually get the legs in your shot, all right? So your filming area is pretty curtailed. Not too bad for a small game, but it isn't gonna work for a big one. All right, so what do I film down here? Let's take a look at the family, smaller footprint games that I keep by the kitchen table. And right now, the big hit for us is San Juan. For some reason, my family loves this game. I think they're burgeoning Euro gamers, is what I think. There's a few games I can play solo, Pandemic, but for the most part, Couriers, Ink and Gold, Lost Cities. These tend to be lighter, smaller games that my kids enjoy. Up here are a little bit of the bigger boxes, the ones that take a little longer to play, but are still great for my kids. And like I said, Splendor, D-Day Smash Up, King of Tokyo. These are, they're just a little more lightweight. Probably what I play when friends come over or family. And they work well on the kitchen table. These work well on the kitchen table. They don't take that long to play. And they're easy to pack down and pull out again. The one I want to do is Loyang. This has a really cool solo variant. And I filmed a video for it once and made like a horrendous mistake on how you score and had to delete the whole thing. So I have to get up the energy to pull this one out again and film a video for this one. And I also found a really cool variant for Troye, I don't know how you say it. Like I said, French, not my subject. This is another fun one I hope to get out and play soon. But this is it. These are sort of my collection of quick, fun, family-friendly, great for quick setup, quick playtime, but not really what I think of as the big mamas, the ones that I really enjoy playing solo. For those, we have to head upstairs. And these are where my girls live. These are the games that I enjoy playing. They're definitely long play games, probably too complex for my kids at this point, so they're not something I can set up and just play through real quick. A lot of these I haven't really even got a chance to play yet. I'm waiting for someone to come and have 4 or 5 free hours of their life to enjoy a game with me. But these are probably my favorites, and these are the ones that for the most part are soloable. I started with just one bookshelf, but unfortunately it quickly overflowed, and I'm trying to think, which ones haven't I played yet? Oh yeah, the Guns of Gettysburg. Man, I would really like to play that one, but I haven't even figured out how yet. I need to sit down with that one by myself and figure out the rules. It's a block war game, kind of like Sekigahara. And it looks like a little more intense than I thought it would be. But I have it. It's going to happen. So that one's still waiting to happen. Oh, The Voyage of the Beagle, the expansion for Robinson Crusoe. That's another one that's going to take quite a bit of time, and I haven't dedicated that yet. But I think all the others, I think I've managed to get out and play. Oh, Tragedy Looper. That's another one that needs a group of people more than I can wrangle at this time. But most of these games I can solo and I really enjoy. Unfortunately, I filled that bookshelf even with my game giveaways, and they sort of morphed in this direction. And these over here are games that I actually haven't really gotten a chance to play yet. Well, except for Sekigahara. My kids call it Sexigahara because they say the K looks like an X. Whatever, children. You'll see down here, Shadows of Brimstone, drop those unput together figures. I'm tempted just to pull out figures from like my Descent game and play it with those because I'm too lazy to actually glue them all together. Fortune and Glory, meh, you can tell it's on the bottom of the stack for me. I gotta try that one again. I gotta give it another shot. The Battle of Five Armies. Oh, I want to play that game so bad. I might have to pull a Ricky Royal here and just play both sides myself, just so I can learn it, because I don't think teaching a game to someone is fun unless you know what you're doing. Nobody likes to sit and watch somebody else read a rule book. And hidden up there on the top, yes, that's right, 2nd edition. That's another one I need to pull out and learn how to play. But this is where sort of the 2nd tier board games live. And because of their large size and large playthrough requirements, well, they don't often get set up downstairs on the kitchen table. For that, you'll probably recognize this tabletop next. And this is probably the other setup you recognize, my nice little white tabletop. This is sort of my corner of the house, and it serves a lot of different purposes. You might have seen this in some of my game giveaways or just, face-to-face talking. This tends to be where I sit because you have really nice natural light coming through that window. This is also where you hear the garbage truck going by. This is sort of my catch-all space. This is where I do my sewing, my art, my crafting, my game playing, whatever it is that I need to get done. This is my corner. And you'll notice, though, that the table I have for gaming here is incredibly narrow. There is absolutely no way I can do my cool little setup tripod trick. If I have a really big game, sometimes I'll pull a table in to go along this edge to sort of extend that area. But I found the tripod really wasn't working for me. So I went to the internets And this is what I found. I was watching a video of an artist I love. Her name is Mary Doodles. I'll link her below. She does some fantastical real-time drawings. And in the background of one of her vlogs, she had this standing with her camera attached to it. And I saw it and said, yes, yes, this is exactly what I want. So sure enough, I hopped onto YouTube. Not YouTube, sorry. I hopped onto Amazon and figured out that this is actually a boom or microphone stand, all right? And this one has the nice little tripod base, but then it has this single stand on it, so it doesn't take up a ton of room. And I think it cost me, I want to say, $25, all right? Now the end of it is set up actually for a microphone. And that means it's just a thread here on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that or not. That I guess, I'm assuming you just screw in a microphone or a boom stand or whatever you're really using it for, okay? But for about $4, you can get a video camera adapter. And this is what I picked up because you just screw it on here like this. And when you're done, you have this beautiful little mount that's adjustable that you can screw your video camera onto. Holds it perfectly, steady, with a whole bunch of range of motion. And that's where this gets so cool because you can spin this down and around every which way here. But then you also end up with the range of motion that this unit itself gives you. So with this little knob doohickey here, you can rotate your camera angle this way. You can also, if I can get my arms around, slide it forward and back, so out or over your table, wherever you are. And of course, you can play with your angle here with it up and down, as well as a height adjuster on top of that. So, oh my goodness, with this thing, you could set it up over pretty much any space, anywhere, and get any shot you want. So now up here, I can film using this microphone stand over top of my game. I still have to do it upside down and flip it right side up. If I wanted to, I could stick this on the chair side of me, but I find I bump into it too much. And having it on the other side of this table, that works just fine. There's only one small caveat I would add if you end up going this route. Because you have so many different angles to play with this boom mic setup, getting a level shot was just driving me batty. And I don't know, maybe it was just the crazy detail-oriented person in me. Because for me, looking at something like this made me feel seasick. I felt like I was tipping one way or the other because I just couldn't get my camera level with so many different adjustments. And of course, the internet. There was an answer. Sure enough, in the camera department, there were these tiny little, oh, what do they call these? I think they call these bullseye levels. And I want to say these are the 8mm one. They come in different sizes. I think there are 6 or 7 of them for $5. And they have a little tiny bullseye, and right in the middle is a teeny little bubble. Can't really tell if you can see that or not. And what's nice about these tiny little bubbles is that they level in all directions. So if your camera is tilted too far back, too far forward, to the right, or the left, that little bubble isn't going to be happy. And I just stuck a tiny piece of double-sided foam tape. It's not real sticky. And I can stick it right to the back of my camera and make sure it's pretty much bullseye level, and I know I'm going to end up with a nice flat shot. Oh my goodness, this saved me so much heartache. Because while that boom mic stand is really nice, it is very finicky because there's so many little dials that you're trying constantly to adjust and readjust. If you want to go that way, man, for a couple of bucks, these little guys are worth it. And I did get ridiculously small ones. I believe they do come in larger sizes if you don't want to burn your eyeballs out. But I think that's it. I think that's my behind the scenes look of where I game and how I do it. I hadn't really realized how I divided it into 2 separate worlds, the upstairs and the downstairs. But that's what works for me. And I think squeezing gaming into your life is a good thing. Not all of us can have a gaming cave. For some of us, we have to find little corners of our house and make them work. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Back soon with a real gameplay next. And just for completion's sake, I thought I would throw in the noisemaker of the family. My UPS barker and my skittling floor sound maker. Oh, puppy. Yeah, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. Yes, I love you, puppy. You like games, right?